We are on our way to Commerce, Georgia, little farming community up here. It's about 6:30 in the morning to the Commerce show. This will be our 4th show this year. We did this show a couple months ago in April. It was our first show that we did in the state of Georgia, and it was a good show for us. So we're going to go back. I don't think we did any video footage before, but you can see we're loaded down. Those of you that saw the Chattanooga show, it's going to be a lot of the same type setup, except we do have 2 6-foot tables instead of 1 8-foot. So we brought our quarter box and a couple more things that will be out, but you'll see the display. This is a good show up here. It's just in a little farming community. There's a ton of Braves fans out here, and like I said, we did pretty good. The guy that runs the show, Caleb, a hustler, hardworking young man, so we want to support him, and we're actually going to go see our son Tori and his girlfriend. Tori's moving into a new place out close to here, so we're planning on having dinner with them after the show and just making it a fun day. Right, Dawn?
Yep.
Anything else you want to add?
No,
We're good. No major cards to sell. We sold a lot in Chattanooga. Probably the biggest card in our case will be a Heritage LE variation that I pulled, a PSA 10 that I pulled from my personal collection to sell, because we have plans later on in July to head back to Cincinnati for a show there, and we've got some plans for that LE variation card, so we're gonna let this PSA 10 go that I have. Hopefully we'll sell it today. But a lot of Braves cards, just a lot of the same stuff that we have at shows, just moving out inventory, a lot that we've gotten from the Facebook Marketplace collections that we bought. So we'll keep you updated and try to give you some decent footage of today's show, again in Commerce, Georgia, and we'll let you know how it goes. We'll be checking in later. Our goal is to get there by 8. It has us getting there at 7:58. So we're going to stop and get an Egg McMuffin or something. But kind of hungry. So getting off at Brazelton, Georgia, on our way here. We'll see what we have at this exit. Yeah.
it's okay, right? 900 feet. Use the left lane to turn left, I-85 north toward Reeville. Turn left, I-85 north toward Reeville.
So we're going to go 8 miles up, back in the country to get to this facility. On a 2-lane road. about 10 o'clock right now. Starting to pop a little bit. So we just had lunch from the taco truck. It's really good. It's 1 o'clock. You can see it's thinned out a whole lot. 1 o'clock, crowd's pretty much gone. There's still a few people here, but overall, okay, guys, I'm glad you made it this far. I want to end this with a couple of perspectives on this show, and then I want to share a story with you that I'm very excited to share. It's a little bit after midnight. It's been a long, long day. So if you guys will bear with me, because I want to give you a couple of insights that I hope will help. Just to kind of recap, I mean, the crowd was down. Our sales were as good as what we did the first time we went to this show, but it's Father's Day weekend. The Braves were in town. And again, our sales were about the same as the first commerce show we did. And it's kind of borderline worth it. I mean, I would rather not do shows, but there's a lot of benefits to doing shows. And we met a lot of great people, which always makes it worth it. And we did get to go have dinner with our son and his girlfriend afterwards. We had a great time, a great evening with them. So it was all good. And we'll probably continue to support this show because we can spend time with family as well when the show's over. But the perspectives here, I was really shocked. There was less Pokemon at this show than it was the first show we did with these guys in April. There was less Pokemon dealers. And from everything I'm seeing, everything I'm hearing around the country, Pokemon is growing and growing and growing at card shows. I mean, when we were in Chattanooga here, over half of that show was Pokemon. So that was kind of interesting that there wasn't that much Pokemon. And the other thing that I've got from this show particularly, there was a lot of old vintage, and I mean vintage, like tobacco card collectors, people looking for old stuff. And then for the most part at this show, the way I would describe it, if anybody's thinking about, setting up down the road, it is absolutely Braves country. The last time we went, we sold so many Braves. This time we sold a ton of Braves cards, and I'm talking $3, $4, $5, $6 cards. Acuna, Riley, Spencer, any of the Braves, Dale Murphy, Braves country for sure, which is kind of interesting. And I like going to shows like that where you have that type of collector base, because there wasn't a lot of what I would say collectors. It was vintage and Braves, and there was not a lot in between. So being aware of that will help me as we go back and knowing what to take to a particular show. This is what blew my mind the most. Some of you may have heard the video that Neo Cards and Comics did here on YouTube. If you haven't, it's worth listening to. He delivers a lot of great information. And the title of his video was "Are Repackers, Have They Ruined Card Shows?" And I thought it was an interesting perspective, because around here, it's just not an issue. Hasn't been. And you guys saw where this show was. I mean, we were out in the country. Okay, out in the country. It's where this show is, Braves country. But there was 3 or 4 obvious repackers at this show. And one of these kids was the most obnoxious person I've ever dealt with at a card show. The most obnoxious. You know, we have, some of you've seen, we do a $15 slab box. It's $15 a slab. If you want a bulk deal, you can get 4 for $50. And we do extremely well every show we do with those slabs. And this kid's going through, and will you do bulk deals, blah, 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 just, you know, and they all do the same thing. They walk up, they smile, they introduce themselves, they hold out their hand to shake your hand before they start their routine. That's how they've all been trained. And as Neil talked about on his video, they're sitting backwards on a big, you know, slab box suitcase that they're hauling around, you know, with their Post-it notes, doing their deals. And I saw a couple of these kids before, and then once, you know, they all made it to our table initially, and I just told them, look, this is, you know, this is not the table you guys are looking for, because I'm not looking to do 70% off, you know. I'm just not going to do it. I have great cards. These cards will sell. I'm not doing it. But this one kid was just obnoxious, and, you know, he goes through the slab box, and again, 4 for $50. And he's got 6. He pulls out 6, and he says, I want these 6. I said, okay. He said, I'll give you $40 for them. He said, I need a bulk deal. I'll give you $40 for these 6. I said, there's no way. And he wants to go back and forth and argue with me a little bit. But the thing that bugged me is throughout the show, he would come by the table. I got my $40 for your. It's just obnoxious. Now, that was the most disgusting thing about the show, honestly. But we met a lot of great people, and I got to share this last story, and I'm going to wrap it up, and this will kind of it'll make my day, and I hope you'll find it interesting. This young man came up to me early in the day, and he was telling me this story. He said, because I have my Reds jersey on, and he said, are you a Reds fan? I said, yeah. And I have a lot of Ellie De La Cruz cards in our case. I'm a huge Ellie De La Cruz fan, as you guys, most of you probably know if you watch these videos regularly. And he said, let me show you what I pulled last night. And it was from 2025 Series 2 Topps. And he pulled this game-worn patch, 1 of 1 of Ellie. 1 of 1 card, game-worn patch of Ellie. You can see he's holding it here. But he had got baseball cards here in the Atlanta area, a very well-known shop. You guys, the gentleman's been around a long time running that shop, and, you know, impeccable reputation, and a phenomenal shop. If you're ever in Atlanta, you know, Cards HQ got baseball cards, the 2 shops for sure that you want to go to. But anyway, he had pulled this, and he was just excited, you know, and he said, I'm just excited about this. He said, I'm a Yankees fan. He said, I'm going to try to sell it. And he said, but I can't find any comps on it. And he said, would you be interested in buying it? And I said, well, you know, go around, see what you can find. And before you make any decision, come back and talk to me. And he said, okay. And I said, I'll go and I'll see if I can find any comps or anything on it. Obviously, this is a 1 of 1 card, so there's no comps on it. But we were able to go to eBay, and on eBay, I was able to see some similar cards that had sold, and, you know, they're in the 1,000+ range for a lot of these players, and, you know, same type of card with the letter from the game-worn jersey, 1 of 1, these relic cards, and I looked at them, and I'm thinking, well, this is, you know, this card's with Ellie, you know, Bobby Wood Jr. is going for $1,100. That's what they're asking, and wanted so. And I did look at the sell of these as well. I'm not going to try to pull that up right now. Alonzo's $1,000. Ronald had no bids yet, but he's at $995. So I'm comfortable because I'm an Ellie fan. And if I got that card, I would want to just add it to my personal collection anyway. But when you got Trenton Casas on the Red Sox, who's now hurt, but 500 for his card. And again, these are brand new. They just came out. Okay, so we're still this week actually is when this set was released. So there's not a real established price on these 101s yet. So to make a long story short, not a real long story, but to kind of end this up and wrap this up, he came back to the table a couple of times. He said, and he showed me where some of the comps were a similar Ellie card, patch 101, had at $601, and there was 7 days left. Now, obviously, it wasn't this card. As you can see, 101, game worn, just an awesome card. And we were talking, and he's talking to different vendors there. And so the bottom line, met this young man. I met one of the most obnoxious people, the most obnoxious I've ever met at a card show. But I met this young man, and we were talking back and forth during the entire show. And when it was all said and done, we agreed on a trade for the card, $400 in trade from our showcase. And he ended up picking up 6 cards. He got some good cards. He got a Kobe rookie. I think it was PSA 8, and 2 LeBron PSA 10s. I can't remember. They were mosaics. I can't remember the other 3 right now, but he was happy. He's a New York Yankees fan. He was happy. I was happy. And there it is. You can see the Ellie De La Cruz 2025 Topps update in the name relic card. And this is going to go into my personal collection. I could probably flip it now and make a couple $100 at least, would be my guesstimation. But Ellie's one of the main people that I collect today, and I'm going to hang on to this one. So anyway, that was the Commerce Show. I hope you enjoyed this wrap-up review, and we'll talk to you on the next video. You guys have a great Father's Day.